24.1 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 1 millimeter of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month to 1.8 millimeters. And now for the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique weather for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair, becoming occasionally cloudy at times with brief morning and nighttime showers. Today's maximum will be 31 degrees Celsius with winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. High tide will be at 12:30 p.m. and low tide at 8 p.m. Sunset will be at 6:14 and sunrise at 6:26. Just to repeat the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique weather for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair, becoming occasionally cloudy at times with brief morning and nighttime showers. From the forecast desk at the Morris Bishop International Airport, I'm Jonathan Price. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jonathan, and you have a great day also.
You gotta be careful, careful.
When you go, when you walk, what you say, when you talk, when you go, when you walk, what you say, when you talk.
In your search for happiness, you gotta leave a little room for loneliness. More things could happen all of a sudden before you realize it's only a disguise. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Saturday, February 3rd to April 30th, 2024, Itel City Sports present the 4th annual Football Under the Lights at Roselle Plain Field in St. Patrick. $20,000 up for grabs in cash and prizes. First place winner in the senior will receive $4,000 and under 17, $1,500. Second place, $3,000 and under 17, $1,000. The dream team all the way from St. David's is ready to defend. Come witness one game nightly on weekdays and 2 games on weekends. It's 2 competitions, one for the seniors and the other for under 17. Registration fee $400 for seniors and under 17 is free. All teams will be able to register at least 20 players. All players must have their uniform and must be numbered. Contact 538-7509 or 406-9580. Football under the lights. Saturday, February 3rd until April 30th. Roselle Plain Field, St. Patrick's. Be there.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the credit union of Grenville, takes you where you want to be. Feel secure with the Credit Union of Grenville, taking care of all your financial needs, including savings, loans, mortgages, and sound financial advice. Serving you with branches on Jubilee Street in Grenville, Lucas Street in St. George's, and new, spacious, convenient, and modern facilities on Seton Brown Street in Grenville and Grand Anse. Call us on 442-8602 or visit one of our offices. With Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the Credit Union of Grenville, your financial security is guaranteed.
Get ready to experience the electrifying energy of the 2024 Carifta Games. This prestigious event brings together the finest young athletes from across the Caribbean, showcasing their talent, speed, and determination in a quest for glory. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, Carifta embodies the spirit of unity and celebration, igniting a flame that will shape the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on the action at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium from Saturday, March 30th to Monday, 1st April 2024. Secure your spot now by purchasing your tickets at Grenadian Optical or visiting gotofed.com. Join us in celebrating the athleticism and excellence of the Caribbean.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful. I say we have to prepare to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy, man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. How you move when you're moving, which direction you're going, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
In your search for happiness, you gotta leave a little room for loneliness. More things could happen all of a sudden before you realize it's only a disguise. You gotta be careful.
I know you must be wondering why that music keep playing and you're not hearing my voice or anything. Just got a little bit of news from Jester. He won't be able to make it this morning because there's an emergency at his home. So I'm flying solo this morning. Just hang in there. I'm flying solo this morning, so I would need your help this morning in carrying the topic that I have. So we're talking, as I said, it's mental health. And when things happen, you really and truly know that mental health plays a really, really big part in what you're going through. So I will be right back in a moment.
The cleanliness in life is gone. It's only vice and corruption that's going on. Staying alive, trying to survive. That is how it is today. So as you go along your way, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Yes, I am back. And as I said this morning, we have the topic is how to turn a negative situation into a positive situation. So, as I said, I need your help this morning because I do not have Jester to beat up on this morning. And this morning, I'm not going to beat up on him at all, because, yeah, he is not in a position where he can come in this morning. And I really do sympathize with what's going on with him there. But life happens, and we really have to deal with it when it comes. And this is why we do the mental health program, so that we can help different individuals, even us ourselves. When things happen, we know how to really go through to make ourselves feel better. So let me say good morning to Coffee. Hope all is well with you. Good morning to Brooklyn out there in Pearls and your daughter Norma. Good morning, Karen Mark. I know you're back out there in Canada, I think Montreal. Good morning to you, as they say, bonjour. Good morning to Marilyn Ferguson. The Dead family out there in Toronto, Arlene, Daphne, Ethan, and Olivia, good morning to you. I already said good morning to Mona, but good morning to you, Mona. So John Phillip, good morning. Bandy Chester David, good morning. Good morning to you, Donna Sandy. Michelle Thomas, Jawanda out there in the Big Apple, 107.9 FM. Bly, good morning. Hope you're enjoying your stay on Spice Country. Good morning to Junior. And good morning to Mary out there in Tio. I know you will be checking in pretty soon. Good morning to Miss Brown and Michelle at Classic Furniture. Maudlin Batiste, good morning to you. Good morning to Bernadette Abraham. Good morning to each and every one of you that listens to Real FM on a regular basis. We can't say that enough. You are our rock. We are there together in thick and thin. I think I've got a call. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Hearing you do not have Jester.
No, I don't.
Let's see, let me call because I'll be calling on while I'm on the run.
Yes.
I think mental health is an important subject matter. I believe these issues must discuss more in our culture, in our life, in our homes, and in our family. Because mental health is perhaps the least understood aspect of health.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we say it's a thin line of demarcation, a thin line. And sometimes every day, normal people cross it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we go down so low we can't come back. So we end up in mental institutions and people could identify us and point at us. But you want a society that is sympathetic. You want a society that is compassionate. You want a society that understands that sometimes when people have challenge, it's not willfully done. So people are doing things because of their mental state or is a health issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be ingrained in our culture. Sometimes because you don't look the normal. And what is normal perhaps is relative. But maybe you're very short, or you're very tall, or you're very big, or your look in the eyes of people is objectionable.
Mm-hmm.
And because the society is so insensitive, sometimes you dread go to school. There are some children who dread going to school. I remember once speaking to a Calypsonian, Lord Doll, and he said the hardest thing for him is people rapping him, people raising him. He said, you know, they're just holding that raised me. He said they're wrapping me. He's small.
Yes.
And he had a great sense of humor. And it was two brothers. One did not used to, he wasn't sociable at all. He didn't used to have much conversation with people. But the other one who was lively with people, his biggest challenge was the manner in which he was treated by people. So the topic is good, and I believe that it's a great topic by the station, and to constantly encourage people to discuss these issues. We have an issue like death. You must die. Everybody dies.
Yep.
But we don't discuss death. So every time you have a death in a family, sometimes the family go apart. Because they believe this person wasn't supposed to die, and somebody caused it. Sometimes the children, they say, you see how you're giving your mother trouble? No, look, she dead.
They put the blame on the
Practically
child.
blaming
Yeah.
innocent children for death. So as adults, we must discuss these topics. We must let our children know that people will die. Just as a tree fall down and die. Elders will die. The Bible tells you 70, something like that.
And sometimes we get a bit more fortunate and we get up to reach 100 and...
Some people, when you win the lotto, you cross empty. A man must know he win the lotto.
Yes, when you meet that
cross
age.
empty, win the lotto.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Pear.
Yes, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. And that is quite true, you know, the death thing. It's inevitable. We all will go at some point. Especially, a lot of us are going this century. Believe me, I know. All of us may go this century, those in our age group. But it is, like he says, it is something that we are afraid to talk about. It's like, even to make a will, people are afraid to make wills because they think if they make a will, that means they're calling death on themselves. No, you're making a will because you do not want anybody to fight mercilessly at the end of your demise. Because it's called a living will. You can change it anytime you feel like. If you want to leave it for the dog, you leave it for the dog, the cat. But you do make a will so that, you know, you have things in place that if anything happened to you, your children or whoever is behind knows exactly what to do, what you want in your burial. If you want flowers, you don't want flowers, you want to go, as God bring you naked, or you want to put on clothes or something. This is what we do things. So you shouldn't be afraid to talk about death because, hey, as it says, you're going to sleep, you know nothing. So you shouldn't fear it. I'm not saying that you should want to die or I would want to die, but if it comes, there's nothing each and any one of us can do. So let's, as he says, let's discuss it at some point. So it is Mental Health Tuesday, as I say, and you all know. But let me go back to the live and say good morning to a few people. Jerome Lewis, good morning. Marlon Klein, good morning. Marlon is always on, checking in every Tuesday. I don't know if you check in on the other days, but appreciate that, Marlon. Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, another. Warren Aquat, Theresa Joseph, Lona Lolo Williams, good morning. Wendy Ann McGuire, Miss Matheson, good morning. Baby Daddy, good morning to you. Good morning, Mr. Pierre. Hope all is well with you. Miss, let me see, Betty James, Natalia John, Dolores Redhead, Louisa Williams, Joycelyn Francois, Ingrid Bourne. And let me also say good morning to Kiki Kira. I know that you haven't come on as yet, but I know you will be coming on soon. And, you know, each and every day, someone new checks in into the live or someone new listens to Real FM. And would like to say, for those of you who put it out there that, you know, Real FM has great program, educational programs that we can learn about, tell more people, because that way we'll be able to help each and every one. Sometimes it's not you may not help them in the way that you think you are, but believe me, you make an impact. Each and every one of us, once we start talking about things that affects us on a daily basis, somebody has that problem. Somebody has an issue that they're going through. It may not be you, but it may be your friend, your relatives. So keep talking about what we do on Real FM to educate the public and even ourselves. Enoch Dennis Bain, good morning. You're listening from Washington, D.C. area. Thank you so much for checking in. You see, and we reach far and wide. If we have people listening in the Galapagos Island, in Libya, or Liberia, and all those places, we have Grenadians everywhere, as the Calypsonian says. And once you check in, maybe on Facebook, you just happen upon it. And as they say, whoops, there it is. We are worldwide. So let me start off by saying negative emotions are the single biggest enemy that any of us have, and that is quite true. Because on any given day, some sort of negative thought is going to push itself through our little head, our little brain. And sometimes it is really hard to get rid of it. But it says if we had no negative emotions, our lives would be wonderful, as would our relationships, our health, and everything else. The person that did that research, and I do different research and get different snippets and put them together, he says he spent over 4,000 hours studying this, and he'll be providing us with some strategies for turning negative situation into positive ones. And who wouldn't want to be positive on a daily basis? You know, people will say to you, oh, you're always bubbly, you're always this, you're always this. But you know what? It is a good thing to be positive, because once you are positive, everything else will fall in place for you. And don't get me wrong and say, well, you're supposed to be happy every day. Maybe you should. And maybe I'm not saying you're bubbling in happiness constantly. You have your moments. But if you are a positive person, it oozes the positivity out of you, and you can help other people to move on to the same stratosphere that you're in, to be more positive instead of always being negative and, being depressed or anxious or on any of this stuff. It says, the great business of life is to eliminate negative emotion. To solve this, we have to answer the question. And here is the question. Where do we get negative emotions from? Where does it come from? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I never asked myself that question, but now I'm asking, if I am negative, where does it really come from? And we're going to get some answers. It says almost all negative emotions depend, listen to this, almost all negative emotions depend on blaming someone or something else for negative situations that happen in our lives. The problem here then is that people hold on to those negative emotions even if they cannot change the outcome and are angry about it. Isn't that true? We like to point the fingers at different persons and not at ourselves when things happen. But it is asking us to stop doing that. Don't hold negative grudges or don't hold anything negative, because if we can change the outcome of it, fine. Then you could hold your little grudge and then you say, okay, it's over now, move along. But if you can't and you're holding on to it, you think you're going to turn it into anything positive? You think you're going to be happier than you are? Because most of the time, when things happen to us and somebody else is the cause of it, we are angry, we hold on to it, and we are not doing ourselves any good. We are the ones that are always angry and uptight, and you see the person and you get more upset and so. And let me tell you, it takes a load of muscles that comes together to bring up that anger in you, that stress. You're uptight because you see that person. And I'm passing along in my little la-la land, not knowing if you are angry or anything, but you are the one that is going through that tough time. And let me tell you something else. When you use up all that muscles to get so angry and upset, you are putting yourself in a dangerous situation where you can end up with stroke or heart attack. So I'm really, really happy that I found this morning when I was doing the research to talk about it this morning, because I know there are loads of us that goes around in our lives being so upset, so angry, and holding on to things that someone did to us, and we're not letting go. It is time to let go, because it is making you sick, not the other person that you are holding inside. They said the key to eliminate negative emotions is this: take responsibility for yourself, your reactions, your situation. You cannot take responsibility for your life, your situation, your reactions, and be negative at the same time. Your mind can only focus on one thought at a time, positive or negative. Let me say that again. You cannot take responsibility for your life, your situation, and your reactions and be negative at the same time. Your mind can only focus on one thought at a time. That thought is either it's a positive thought or it is a negative thought. So we cannot jumble them up. It's either we have one or the other. We're either positive or we are negative. And believe me, most of us, let me put it, not most of us, a lot of us have going through our lives with negativity in it. You put yourself down. You put other people down. If you see somebody that is being positive, well, who do you think she is that she's, or who do you think he is that he's always this way? Negativity. And it is saying here that if we hold on to it, it is not going to be beneficial for us in our life at all. So try to switch that negative into a positive. Start thinking differently. Start thinking, I am worth it. He is what, she's what. And maybe what she's going through, she must have gone through something negative and now she's seeing the positives out of her life. So let's see if we can get there. So it says, anytime you feel negative, say to yourself over and over again, I am responsible. As it says before, you are responsible for the negativity in your life. You are, not me. Well, I'll say, I am also responsible for the negativity in my life if I have any. And we all do. And you are also responsible for it. So you have to say, I am responsible. It says, phrases such as this are called positive affirmations. They are one of the most effective tools for reprogramming your thoughts. So if your thoughts are negative and you keep saying to yourself, I am responsible, you don't want to be responsible for something, do you? I don't want to be responsible for something for the rest of my life. So of course, I'll try to make changes so that I wouldn't have to be always negative. And it says this is a thought to make you reprogram your thoughts. And our thoughts it reaps havoc on us because sometimes we think about things that never will happen and you keep thinking about it in a negative form. And maybe at that time you will make it happen because you are thinking it. It says, you might think right now, but CJ, in a situation involving the other people, how can I be responsible for what they did? And here's an interesting thought. In every situation, whether it involves you directly or not, you are always at least partially responsible for what happened. You might say, well, what's she talking about? Is she crazy? How could I be responsible for something that somebody else did? He says, you got yourself into the situation, you stayed in the situation, you did or said certain things in the situation, so you're not completely innocent. You at least had something to do with that situation. You see how you're responsible? Partially. Because if you come and you say something to me, if I said, you know what, I don't want to hear about it, I ignore you, then I cannot say that I am responsible for what is going on. But if I continue to listen to you and talk to you and, give my 2 cents, as they say, I am partially responsible because I help you move the negativity along. When I saw it, I'm like, whoa, I never thought about something like that. But you see, when you do research on things that affects us mentally, because you would say, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. I didn't help you. But by you participating and you saying your little 2 cents, you are partially responsible for the negative emotions that person is going through. It says, here's another possibility. Let's say you had nothing to do with the negative situation. Maybe you weren't even involved at all. You are still responsible for how you respond to it. And I like, what? How could I be responsible if I didn't partake in it or not? I guess my presence there, when is it what's being said, holds me partially responsible for that negativity. So you see, negativity has a lot of facets. It's not only, oh, I think so, I do this, and you have to dig deep in yourself to know that you're trying to be that positive person, that person that could bring some light to somebody, that person that could make somebody reprogram their thoughts from negative to positive. And it's not an easy thing. No, it's not. But we can do it. We can. And Andrews, good morning. You are not on live as yet, but I know you'll be coming in. Pearl Charles, good morning. Lorna Bain, good morning to you also. It says, this is what is called your responsibility. It didn't say responsibility. Response, and there's a dash, ability. Your ability to respond in a positive way. And again, to respond in a positive way, you simply repeat to yourself, I am responsible. So I am responsible for the way I think and sometimes the way you think. Because if you're thinking negative and I join you in your negativity, then I am responsible for that also. So now you have to change that mantra and you have to put it like, I am responsible for your positivity. And that way we are on the same level playing field. Let me take a commercial break and we shall be right back.
Express your style with color by Xpressions. Have you had Boston on your travel bucket list? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. JetBlue is thrilled to announce its new non-stop flight every Saturday from Grenada's Maurice Bishop International Airport to the vibrant city of Boston. Now you can embark on your Boston adventure without any layovers. JetBlue is making it easier than ever to explore this incredible destination. Whether you're visiting family or friends, exploring for the first time, or simply experiencing Boston life, JetBlue has you covered with a convenient non-stop flight, complete with comfortable seating, complimentary snacks, and an array of entertainment options. You'll arrive in Boston feeling relaxed and ready to explore. So now's the time. Visit jetblue.com to book your flight and bring Boston closer to Grenada. Let your adventure begin.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchen, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Xpressions.
Let your inspiration. Run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
On Friday, February 23rd, 2023, who will it be? It will be the best of the best, the McDonald's College Annual Athletics Sports Meet. It all goes down at the Fall Recreational Grounds from 1 p.m. Admission, $10 for adults and children, $5. Come out and support the students of the McDonald's College.
Where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go.
Yes, I am back. I didn't go too far. But I remember I said that, I am alone. And the phone works, I think, because I called the Met Office this morning, and the number is still 442-0175. And don't tell me that you're going to be sitting out there and think that, you know what, I am positive all the time, so I am not, I don't know what CJ is talking about this morning. I am not a negative person. Don't tell me you're sitting there and saying that. I need you to call me and let's discuss that. Because each and every one of us has some negative thoughts at times. You want to say something, you want to do something, you don't feel so positive about it, that is negative. Because you're not feeling positive as to you can achieve what it is that you're setting out to do. So that's a negative thing. It doesn't mean that it is a bad thing. It is saying that we can change the way we feel with the negativity and turn it into positivity. So it says that you can use this technique in any situation, whether you're struggling to stay positive while cold calling prospects or beginning to doubt your ability to learn how to write a book or anything of that sort, or give a public talk, or you can, like I'm saying, sitting here. The first time I had to come and do this that I'm doing right here, operate that board, I didn't know head nor tail of how to do this. Andrew called me because I said, okay, we have Mr. Pierre, there's no one to operate the board. He says to me, go into the studio. And I'm like, what? Go into the studio. I said, okay. I came into the studio. He said, look at the board in front of you and do this, do that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to die, or I'm going to really, really mess up. Because I wasn't positive at all that I could had no positive feeling that I could do this. And I sat there and I followed the instructions that he gave to me. Mr. Pierre came in. I operated the board. Mr. Pierre got his calls and everything. And that negative feeling that I had that I couldn't do this turned into the positive. And here I am right now, operating that board with nobody telling me what to do. So you see, it can start off in a negative form and turn into something positive. Because look, positivity, the way I feel, is what making me do this right now, sitting in front of this mic here and talking to you. I am not trained in the media in any way or form. I read a lot and I know I can talk. And that too alone caused me to be sitting here and talking about mental health and how it affects us in a negative form or a positive form. So do not be afraid that sometimes some things, you think something that, oh, I can do this and I can do that. But if you rewire or reprogram your thoughts into saying that you can do it, you will do it. Take an athlete, for example. All of us didn't come into this world knowing that we can run race or we can do this or we can do that. No. We all learned at one stage. Some of us, we do things differently. We progress to things rapidly, things that we love. But when you look at the sport that took place last Thursday, and you look at some of the young stars that were running, and let me tell you, they were fast as lightning. They gone in the pasture, line up in the lanes, and I'm telling you, each of them, their heart is going, oh, I wonder if I could come first, so I could do it, or can I make it to the finishing line? But guess what? They couldn't think about that all the time, because when that gun went off, they were running like crazy to reach the finish line. They got there. Who came first, second, and third? The negative feeling that they had on that starting line there turned into positive. They got medals. So you see, it is not always, negativity doesn't always mean negative. Let me put it that way. It can turn into positivity. It says, I think I have a call. It says, you have complete control. And after I take the call, I'll tell you how we do that. Good morning.
Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Mons. I'm good. How are you?
Not 100%.
I know. I'm not 100% either.
Eh?
I'm not 100% either.
But we have to hold on by the grace of God.
Yes.
Claire, negative, positive.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have in mind that you could make it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't got in mind that you could make it, you go always be thinking negative. Throw out negative and hold on to positive. You go stumble.
Mm-hmm.
Because no man perfect. But hold on. Try your best. You're going to make it. Have the assurance. Man, I could do that. And unless I don't get to it, I will never give up.
True.
Have faith. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And I know what you do. You fire my partner this
No,
morning.
I didn't fire this morning. He's going through a bit of a thing up there, and I wouldn't say because it's not my place to say, but it's not him per se, but yeah. But he's not doing, he has to go to the hospital this morning. And yeah. So,
God is in control.
Yes.
All he had to do throw the negative and put in the positive.
Oh, and he is a positive person, I can tell you.
That's right.
Yes,
Hold on, boy.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
behind you.
All right.
Take
care.
good care.
You
Everybody, good morning.
Too. Bye, Mona. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maxwell Belfon, good morning to you. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope all is well with you. Let me say good morning to my brother Dexter in Riverside there. I know that you're listening. And Irvin in London. I know it is cold out there. Baby Daddy, what is the weather like in New York this morning? I know you all were dying on the snow over there, but let's hope all is well. Let me see if I have another call. Good morning.
Coffee in the morning.
Good morning to you, and how are you?
I'm on top of the world.
I know, always.
Right over on top. I'm getting ready to go to Grenville, but I said that I know your situation, so let me just take if it's a minute or two to make my contribution to really alleviate you from the amount. But I know that you're capable.
Oh, of course.
I know that you're capable.
You see how positive I am, of course.
Of course, even though you're not, of course, right. A couple of years ago, in speaking about negative and positive, thinking negative will always sometimes bring good result. All depends on how you're expecting to get a result. So when people hear the word you're thinking negative, they believe that, it's wrong and then it cannot be corrected. But negative things bring forth positive things. A couple of years ago, I decided to go into a business. I do not have any business experience. But I believe that anybody can be able to achieve anything if you put your mind to achieve. So once I have the mind to go to the business, then I decide to give it every shot. Not being academically inclined, not knowing anything about maths or whatsoever, I did not meet that standard in school. But I decided, hey, I got to go to a business. And I said the business that I want to go into is a mini-mart, a supermarket. So I went to the bank, knowing that I'm not in a good job, but I went to the bank. And when I spoke to the bank manager, he said, because of your age, we will not be able to give you the money for the business. I said, all right. I didn't stop there. I decided to raise my positiveness. So I decided to go further. I went to another bank, and more or less, I got the same reply. I did not give up. No negativity did not come in there. I decided to build the positive part of me to accomplish that mission. So I decided, hey, if such is the case, I'm going to put the cards on the table to my positiveness to achieve what I need. So every month I work with government. I decided to put a certain amount of cash aside, buy the cement, do this, do that. And every morning I go downstairs before I go to work. I said, hey, business, this is the way I want you. That is the type, without no money, but that is the type of supermarket and mini-mart I need, and I have to get it. I think positively, and nobody ain't coming across me when at my age I decide to accomplish. So when the downstairs I do all the block work, I prepare the ground, I do the shelf, no money. Shelf ready for stuff, No money, no money, no money. But that positive, I can make it. I have to think positive to accomplish the mission. In other words, I reached too far to turn back. Good. So listen that now. So I told my wife, and I guess she's listening. I told my wife, I said, hey, no money. She said, I noticed that. She said, but I know you is a madman. I said, yes, I'm a madman. So the shelf ready for the product. Money to call the trucks in order for me to stock up those shelves. I have some sand by me. I think in positive. I get some paper bag. I put sand in it. I put it on the shelf. I get some empty Jordan's bottle, the cream bottle. I put it in water. I put it on the showcase.
You did?
Yes, I did. Ask my wife. And you could ask. I could give you a telephone number that you can call Bishop George Beaton Pentecostal Church in Marion and ask him. I get empty water bottles. I go in the pipe, I full them of water, I put on the shelf, I thinking positive. I get 2 daily run bottle, I put them there, I thinking positive. When I come from work, I go in on the shelf, I taking up the sand, I go in on the counter in the paper bag, I put in the day, and I passing wrong, and I pretending I typing into the cash machine, I thinking positive. In the space of no time, the money came in for me to put the real thing on the shelf, not fake. I think positively. I decide to employ somebody now that can be able to take care of the mini-mart. Because I don't know anything about maths. I don't know anything about cash machine. But the problem that I enjoying at that time now is that I am paying a person every month to run the supermarket. And whatsoever the supermarket brings in is not enough for me to pay the person that works with me. So one day I sit down and I said, no, I have to think more positive. So one day Cassandra said, Daddy, why you don't come? Let me teach you to operate the cash machine. And I said, Cassandra, man, my age, and the brain, and I can't go through this thing. She said, Daddy, let me teach you to operate the cash machine so you can be able to take responsibility in running the affairs by yourself. I take a deep breath. She came from school one day, and the business was closed because, my God, I know cash machine, business open, goods on the shelf. I'm praying God that nobody will come because I can't operate it.
Okay.
Watch. Let me tell you something. One Cassandra came from school and she see the business closed. She said, Daddy, hey, come downstairs. Come down. And first time I heard my daughter rough me. My daughter rough me
She
to the
rough you
point that
up.
I almost get mad. Cassandra rough me just like if she owes me mother. She said, come here. She said, go behind that machine. She said, come. She said, Daddy, listen, think positive. You saying your age. You saying you don't know about that. Because the machine is state of the art. You're thinking too negative. Put on the positive button, man. And that child said, do this, do that. She took a piece of tab, the kind of tag price, and she put it on that tab. She said, listen, that tab is for this one. That tab is for that. The number 1 tab, number 2 tab, number 3 tab. Bam, to open the machine is that. Bam, 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 bam. And I get a little relief. She said, try now. Bam, bam. What you gonna do? You gonna make a mistake. Bam, 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 bam. Good. Then I said, girl, I think I get in it, I think I get in it. By the time she came back from school, I forget half. By the time she came back from school, I forgot half. But Claire, let me tell you something. When she came back, I was sitting downstairs. The place didn't close.
I know.
And I praying for people to come. Let them come. I'm praying for people to come now, man.
You're ready. You're positive
I'm
now.
ready like Freddy, man. Hey. So when she came from school, I thought she was heading upstairs. She come downstairs. She said, I have to make some groceries for the school. Go behind the machine. I get up and I go behind the machine. And she put the milk, she put the sugar, she put the this, she put the that. And I cash. When I cash, I press the button. Drop come out. She said, give me a high five, Daddy. Bam!
And the rest is history. Look at
And
you
the
today.
rest
Yeah.
is history. And I master that machine. I master the little maths. I'm not perfect in it. So yes, you may think negative, but behind that, man, it can be very much positive. Never say that it cannot be done. So I think your topic this morning is a very, very much enlightening topic. And because we go down to the nitty-gritty of it, I think lots of people can be able to call to make the contribution where positive is concerned. Thanks a lot.
No problem at all, CK. Have a good day. Yes. So, see, he turned his negativity into positive. He masters that cash machine right now. And it is very intimidating. I walked on one. And sometimes you look down and like, well, what is this? You have to press this, press that, press this. But when you get it, you'll get it. Let me tell you. I've got a call. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Clifford. Radio.
And good morning to all the persons listening. For Igwe that have his problem, I hope that they...
No, and it's not Igwe. It's just an eye on Tuesday, not Igwe. Igwe is on Wednesday, yeah.
So I hope that...
yeah, he's going to be okay.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Listening to that gentleman, I don't know. That's a wonderful piece, what he said. And I agree with him to an extent that things that you wasn't as negative to you can become positive.
Yeah.
I agree that trial make an error, an error make trial. So I agree that you can learn from trial. I have no problem there. But that was a wonderful piece for him.
Yeah.
But I believe that if I am not negative of something, nobody's supposed to put me down as negative. If somebody do something that is wrong, and I didn't take any part in it, and I am trying to tell the person that what you did was wrong and showing it out to them, I should not be labeled as being negative at all. And I believe that, and I stand with that.
Okay.
Because if I were part and parcel of it, okay. But if I wasn't part and parcel of it, and I see you do something wrong, and I try to make it better for you, I explain to you that what you did is wrong, I should not be counted as a negative person. I have negativeness in me. And that doesn't mean that I won't have negativeness in me. But if I'm not responsible for what happened to you, I should not be held negatively for it. But every human will have negativeness in them. I'm not doubting that. But if I didn't responsible for what happened to you, at the stand you take, and if in taking the stand, I was trying to help you, you shouldn't label me for negative. And that's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. You know, everybody has their I said everybody has their opinion, and we have to
Yes.
respect everybody's opinion. But
Right.
it didn't say, didn't really say that you are negative also. It says if you partake in something that somebody is saying that they are negative and you partake in it, you are as partly responsible for helping them going through it, because you are part and parcel of it, because you listened, you put your 2 cents, and so, but it didn't say you are a negative person. That's what
Well,
it is.
I still wouldn't say that if I put my 2 cents, if I didn't give them a bad advice in their negativeness, and I put my 2 cents, I should not be labeled.
I understand you totally. I got you. All right, thank you. Yes. So it says here, you have complete control. And the truth is, nobody can make you feel negative other than you, other than me. I can make myself feel negative. You can make yourself feel negative. If you think about things that make you feel unhappy or angry, you are going to feel negative. And it is quite true. If you're not happy about things around you or in your life or whatever it is, you are going to be negative. You're going to tell yourself, well, who cares? What am I living for? That's negative thinking. So it's saying that we all, as Clifford just says, and Coffee says, every one of us goes through this stage in life with some sort of negativity. All of us. I could be thinking something negative right now, but I could reprogram my thoughts to make it positive and make it work for me. It says, if you think about things that make you happy and excited about your life, you will feel positive. This is true. When you learn how to harness the power of positive thinking, you will be able to control your emotions in any situation. Positive thinking. So that's what we are talking about, turning your negatives into positives. So if you harness the power of positive thinking, always think positive, you'll be able to control your emotions in any situation. So you wouldn't allow yourself to become negative or always be a negative thinker. Because there are a lot of us out there that never, ever, ever thinks about anything that is positive. Everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. And do you want to be around somebody like that when you're fighting to be positive and all you're hearing, oh, this is not good. Oh, that is not good. Why you do this? Your hair looks bad. Your clothes look bad. Where you get that shoes? Oh, that car that you're driving, this. And, it's always negative. After a while, you say to yourself, I am staying clear of that person. No pun intended. Or pun intended in that one, yes. I'm staying clear of that person because all that they are spewing is negativity. And I don't want to be around somebody that is always negative. Clever Williams, good morning to you. He says, it is all in the mind. Sometimes the negative mindset tells us that we cannot do this and we cannot do that. If the Wright brothers had dwelt on all the negatives of flying, air travel would not have been what it is today. That is a very true thing. And not only the Wright brothers. They're the first airplanes that came out and they fly and they failed and they gone again. They did not give up. And today, we have all kind of birds in the air. We have 747s, we have 737s, we have embryos, we have 320s, we have 321s, we have 319s, all kinds because of the Wright brothers. The thing that we love, everybody has it in their hand, the computer. Bill Gates, Apple, the whole lot of them, they were thinking positive. And when they put a part and it didn't work, they didn't say, I'm giving up on that, I ain't buying this computer thing again. They continue. They persist. And look at today, we are living in the dot-com world, in the powerful world of computers. I've got a call. Good morning.
Yeah, Coffee, it's me again. Before I run out, I just want to, I need to say to Jess that, regardless of the circumstances, hold in there. You're very strong.
Oh, yeah.
We do not know what it is, but I think that God is in full control.
Mm-hmm.
And before I go, I just want to say a good prayer on behalf of him and his family. Father, I bring Jester Noel before you this morning, Father. You are the all-seeing God, and you is the all-knowing God. You are the solver of every problem. You are the healer of every disease. As I bring him or his family before you this morning, I decree by the blood of Jesus that all will be well. Giving him more faith to believe, O God, that it is well in the name of Jesus. Every situation I bring before you, O God, every evil forces I bring before you, take full control of whatsoever the situation is. Touch Jester in the name of Jesus. Amen and amen. Take care.
Thank
I'm
you.
running.
Okay, bye-bye. Yes. So we're reaching out there. It's not, the thing is just, it's in his close subtle. So I'm not, like I said, it's not my place to say. I am not going to say what it is. Just as going, he didn't even call me, send me a voice note. I called him afterwards and I got what it is. So I'm just not going to say it's, let him, when he comes on, maybe on Saturday or so, he'll say what it is. But it's, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So it says, we talked about when you harness the power of negativity. And as Cleaver says, that when the Wright brothers start flying the thing, it was they didn't think negative. They may have reached stumbling blocks, but they continued. And airplane, we have computers, we have the electric car. You think, what's his name? Elon Musk had it all successful and he started making the Tesla. Even today, they had recalls on the Tesla because of certain things, that the steering wheel and all that. So negatives, as he says, as Coffee says, can turn into positive because you do not give up. You continue to push along until the negative becomes a positive. I think I've got a call. Good morning.
Good morning, Claire. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Good, good. I
Lovely
like
program
that.
again, as usual.
Thank you.
And my support also goes out, my positive energy also goes out to Jester and his family.
Yes.
That everything will turn out in a positive way this morning. How are you today, Claire?
I started off good, but I am a little bit emotional this morning, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to make it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Stay on the positive side.
Yes, positivity.
Correct. Send that energy in that right direction.
Of course.
One comment before I say what I called to say. I was watching the news with the media award. I didn't hear Real FM being nominated or given a award for a program, and I believe your program deserves an award. My opinion.
Well, yeah. Well,
you don't have to comment. I just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there because it is, and the people who listen to the program get something positive from it every time they tune in and listen to it, and the participation from what I'm hearing is growing. So I think it's a good program, and if I think it's a good program, I think it deserves an award.
Well, let me put it this way for you. Let me put it that way for you. We are already award winning. Let me put it that way. We are already award winning. When we have contributors like you and everybody else online that comments and people that call, having a trophy in our hand will say, yes, we did that. But the thoughts that goes into people's mind and the thinking positive, the thinking that comes into whatever program we have, making people change their life around regardless of what position they are in. If they're in the negative, they will turn into a positive. If they feel like they're down on their life every day, and something we may have said here makes them make a 180, it's award enough for me, for us here at FM. I am good with that.
All right. I still know, but we have what the college student says: give them the flowers when they're around. When they are around, I can see them and smell them.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you're not the only one that called, that asked, or a guy came in here yesterday and says, how come I didn't see all of your award? And, we don't bother about it. Let me put it this way for you. We are in the country of Grenada, but we are in the country of Grenada, if you get my drift.
I do. Loud and clear.
Alrighty.
Loud and clear.
So let's go.
Right. Okay. Well, this morning, I'm thinking about this whole positive thing, thinking, and I try to live my life in that direction. Mm-hmm. When I say I try, I'm human, so I'm prone to all the failures a human is prone to, and negative thinking is one of those things. Yeah, And I can recall a recent incident with me where I had to visit my mom. And we don't have a very good relationship, I'll be honest with that. And she's going through, um, um, I would say, advancing with dementia. So the behaviors get exaggerated in every way you can possibly think. Yeah, their speech, their aggression, their the words they use, and everything else like that can be very, very, very antagonistic to the person listening or having to interact with them. And I was really truly dredging that. And I was speaking to my two children in regards to the visit, and they says, what are you gonna do, Dad? What's your plan?" And Claire, I was totally blank because all I can think about was how would this interaction is going to go, and it was just everything about it was just negative. Yeah, and I said to my son, I don't have a plan, and he went silent on the phone, completely silent. And I said, "You guys there?" He says, "What do you mean you don't have a plan? You always have a plan. What are you talking about? You don't have a plan?" And this, you see how the last caller, his daughter, spoke to him?
Yes.
That's exactly how my son spoke to me. What do you mean you don't have a plan? In this real, like, he is the father, I am the son.
Of
You
course.
understand?
so
And I
then,
was like,
so then the children become the parent.
exactly. And we were on the phone maybe for half an hour. Yeah? And he came back. Okay, here's the plan. Serious, Claire. Here's the plan. I got an Airbnb. I've got a car rental. We'll pick you up at the airport, and we're heading to where we need to be. We'll be there by 8 p.m. Swear to God. Plan laid out. And I was just in shock because he is the type of person that used to just do everything on the fly. And I said, after we get everything settled out, I said, "What just happened there?" He said, "You said you didn't have a plan, so I made a plan."
Exactly. Exactly.
and I was just thrown back at it that here it is. He took my negative energy and completely changed it around. By the time I came off the phone, I was saying, "This is going to be good. This is going to be positive. This is going to be excellent." And Claire, would you know it? Everything went in a smooth way. My sisters who was dealing with her every day tell her, who have never seen mom behave like this. Completely awe. You know, we picked her up, we brought her back to the Airbnb, we cooked food, we sat, we talked, we laughed, all kinds of things we did. And none of that energy she's displaying on a normal day ever came up in the visit that we had with her. Even after we went shopping, I'm telling you, Claire, it was completely changed. So when and that came back and then I came back home and I said, "You know what, Nicholas? You've been letting your brain go to that negative too much. You need to stop and come back to the other side." Yeah, even sometimes if you get to the middle and you balance one way or the other, that's okay. But you don't want to go to the negativity.
True.
Stay away from there as much as possible. And as you know, a lot of things is changing for me in my life in terms of, work, this and that and the other. And I am embracing it.
Yes.
Every challenge that come up, I embrace it with a positive. There's the negative, yes, but I take the positive and I build on it as much as possible. Yeah? And hearing you speaking this morning and your callers calling in, it reinforced that to me so much so now that I'm moving forward today thinking everything is going to be just right. And it will unfold just as the master has planned it.
Exactly.
And me being negative is like insulting the master and telling him your plan is no good.
Oh my gosh,
You understand?
nobody's quite true, quite true.
Yes, So for me, like I said to you, I really try to look at the positive. I had many instances within the last month or two where my wife was trying to acquire a vehicle, and every time we go to the institution, it was They want this, they want that. That's not done right. This is not done right. Clara, it was amazing how many things just, by the time you solve one, another one pop up. So you solve one, another one pop up. Exactly, it was just waiting to come. And it's like, wait, what is going on here? And she called me one day and she says, I'm tired of this. I'm giving up. And she's in tears and she says, I've been working on this for so long and every time they call is something else. Yeah? And would you believe it? Right up to the day when I went to sign the paper and I'm reading the paper, and they still had so much errors in there. It was ridiculous. I'm sitting there and I'm saying, like, are you guys for real? And the lady looked at me and she says, I've never seen anything like this before. She says, every time I look at this, I spotted something wrong. Here it is now. It's the final thing. You're reading it and you're still seeing things that are wrong. Yeah? And I said, you know what? This is the way it's supposed to be. I am not upset. Let's just change it and keep moving forward.
Yes.
Let's change it and keep moving forward. The last thing is that they give me a form to take to, when you have the insurance and you have a loan, the insurance company needs to know about it, who to pay should something happen. And I got it. I got the thing. I signed it, and I'm driving there to deliver it to the people. My mind told me, Nicholas, you didn't read that. You just signed it. And I said, no. It cannot be. And would you know, they have the wrong license plate number on it.
What?
I sat in the car and I laughed. I laughed till tears come down my face. I was laughing so hard. Yeah? Because the only thing to do there was to laugh.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what, Nicholas, leave that alone for a minute. And a whole week, I just held on to the paper, and then I brought it back to them. I said, you're not going to believe it. She read the paper 3 times. She still didn't spot it. Till I showed her, I said, look. And she did the same thing I did. She just started laughing because there was no other explanation for why this had occurred. And, I just watched her and I smiled and I said, listen, this is what it is. So let's keep moving forward. Let's keep staying positive. Make the change and start over again. And, for anyone who's going through a hard spot, there is a bright side.
Always.
Talk to somebody, and, reach out to somebody and take a chance. Take a chance. You don't know what that person will come back to you with, and will find some positive energy so you can continue with your day. And I will end on a note that I listened to your program with Mr. Glean. Totally enjoyed it. He made some real strong points that I think we need to, as a society, start holding different people accountable for their actions. Government, institutions, and stuff like that, so we can start advancing as we say, as one people.
Yes, one nation, as they say. Yes, I'm planning to have him come on maybe once a month to continue talking about it. And
Beautiful.
I also saw Dexter Mitchell yesterday, and we had a conversation before, and I said to him, when I have Jelani on, I'd like you to come because you all have to start this men's thing that you can meet somewhere in between and talk about things that are affecting men so that you can get more men to open up about what they're feeling. And you said something to me a while ago, and it was after COVID, and you said we need to deal with men. We need to have the hard conversation because there are a lot of men that are going through a lot of tough times, and they're going to the rum shop and just walk it out there with the bottle. And we need to get him to open up and talk. So I'm planning on having him once a month. And I hear my positive now. I can't wait for you to retire so I can pull you in here one day so we can have that conversation also. I know you'll tell me, Claire, it's a far place. Grenada is a small place. And I don't care how you get here, if you have to fly or what. But you're going to get here one morning, we have that conversation. And thank you so much for always contributing.
That's something positive again to look forward to.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was my good friend, Nicholas Snag, that always makes really, really strong contributions to this program because, hear this. there are a lot of us that has things going on in our lives, and we hide it. And we pretend that everything is A-okay, and it's not. You heard he talks about his mom. Sometimes he talks about his dad, and he talks about the things that affects him in a negative thing. But, he has learned to reprogram his negatives and turn it into his positive. His son changed his negative into a positive, and he had the time of his life with his mom. And if we keep things inside of us, the only thing we can do is to continue being negative, because we're not putting it out there to get a hand from someone to say, well, let me pull you up, or let me help you up, because I've been through this. I know I have an idea what you're going through, and I can help you. But when you hold it in there, you're the only one suffering. I lied. You're not the only one suffering. You're suffering for yourself. But the people around you also suffer, because the way you display what you're going through, it's not positive. It is negative. So I'm begging and I'm asking. I'm really begging for you to see what it is that you're going through in your life that is you thinking is always negative. To talk about it, to think about it. Think about reprogramming yourself, because you see a lot of people walking around you and they look despondent. They look as though the world is really sitting on their shoulders. And we never take the time to ask, well, how are you? Is all okay with you? Sometimes that's all they need to open up and speak about what it is. And then they feel light afterwards because they share it with someone. And I always say, I'm not always saying to you to just open up your mouth and just say to any Joe Blow that you meet. No, this is not what I'm saying. You must find some support, somebody that you're close with, somebody that you trust to speak to. Yesterday I was talking to a young man out there that he's suffers he has mental illness and so. But there are days that he's really, really good. And, people see me talking to him and they look at me in that strange way, because I will tap him on his arm while sitting and I'm laughing like crazy with him outside there. And it's not a new thing. When he's sick, I know, because he said, what are you looking at me like that for? And I know to stay on the other side of the road. But when he's good and we have great conversations. And yesterday he said to me, I didn't have breakfast for the morning as yet. I said, and why are you telling me that? Am I your restaurant or something? Because I always say that to him and, he laughs. He says, I know. But I will come upstairs and get some money and give him to go get something to eat, because I know who he is, and he would not lie to me and say, oh, I didn't eat yet because he wants something from me. He's genuine about that. So when you meet people and you talk to them, you get to know a whole lot about the thing. He told me yesterday, he says, you know what, I am cutting down trees for someone down the road. I said, well, where? He says, down the road there. I said, down the road doesn't have a name? He said, yeah, in Mount Craven down there. I said, oh, so that's why the tree branches in your hair? And he said, yes. He said, but I ain't get the pay yet, so I can't really buy anything. I said, you don't have to explain to me. I'm going to give you the money to do the breakfast. I also said to him, you need a haircut and you need to go trim your beard. He said, yeah, he planned on cutting it Friday. I said, no, cut it before. I said, well, who cuts your hair? Tell me him. I said, no. Go to a barber and get it all done. I said, if you don't have the money, come and I'll give it to you. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a bank. But there are people that I know that I can genuinely help to make a difference in their life. Because he went a little off. And that doesn't mean that he's not a human being and that I cannot talk to him. I talk to anybody that I meet that I once had to listen. I will talk. But you have to know when to draw your line if you see they're getting sick and so. And there are some of them that walk and I wouldn't say anything to them because I know they're violent in that way. But I happen to really, really like. He's just going through some mental issues with him, and that doesn't make him worse than me or make me worse than him. We are humans. And we all go through things, negative or positive. We have to know when to reach out to help someone. We may not be able to help them every day, but the day you feel that they say they're hungry and you know they're genuinely hungry and you have money in your wallet, do not hold it and say, I ain't have. Do it. If somebody is trying to talk to you, you never know. This might be the last conversation you might be having with that person. Listen, because you might be able to change their life into something that from what they were thinking. Good morning, Kiki. I know that you're going to come in. Anastasia Peterson, good morning to you. So, we're talking about changing the negative, reprogramming your negatives into positive. As it says, when you learn to harness the power of positive thinking, you will be able to control your emotions in any situation. And as Cleaver says, anytime your mind tells you that you can't do something, you will never try to do. You will never try, and thus you achieve nothing. Our minds are always going to tell us we can't and we can't and we can't, because this is how we program ourselves. But if you say, I can, I will, I could, you will make the change. You will reprogram your negative thinking into the positive. It says the most important thing to remember about negative feelings is this: you have complete control over the way you feel, the way you respond to any situation, and the things you think about at any minute of the day. You are in control. You are in control. Remember, it is you that are thinking the things that you are thinking that is negative. It's not me. I will feel the result of your negativity. Anyone around you will feel get the result from your negativity, because you're sending out that, you're oozing with negativity, and the aura comes out to us in a negative form. But if you're positive, as I say, sometimes stop and smell the roses. The most beautiful thing in the morning that I think is that you're standing somewhere and you look at that sun just making its way out from the horizon. I think it is the most beautiful thing to look at. This is the positivity of the Creator that gave us that. A lot of the beauty that we are enjoying right now is the positivity of the Creator that is causing us to enjoy all of these things. You look at the ocean on some days and you just see it just cool and calm, and you feel that you could be like Jesus and walk on that water. I think it is beautiful. I said the sun rising from the horizon and it's coming up in the big ball of fire, red as ever. And then it reaches a stage and it streaks across the ocean, and you see that gold coming across there. I don't think that it's anything more beautiful than that. If you wake up early one morning, just look out from your window and look at that sun coming up to give us that great blaze of glory at the end of the day. You will be so positive. You will say, you know what? If this could make me feel that happy, then I could be a positive person for the rest of my life. Nature at its best gives us the most positive thinking. And if we cannot enjoy that, or we cannot appreciate it, then I say to you, you will be negative forever. Because if this doesn't change, doesn't touch a spot in your heart and make you know that, wow, this is beautiful, then I don't think anything else can. Wallen Ackward says, you as a person, you should create a positive condition like learning to drive from nothing to something out of a driver. Yes, you're right. Most of us don't own that. We didn't come here driving. We had to learn to drive, as he says. And when you look at some people that drive, you say, wow, I didn't think that person was able to drive. But they did not go to that driving lessons thinking that they're going to fail their exams at all. They'll think they went driving, paid their money, go to, what's his name, down the road to teach them to drive, with the positive thinking that they are going to pass that exam today and they're going to drive, and they will be buying their own car and drive. Positive thinking. Good morning, Bernadette. Hope all is well. Antonito, good morning to you. Hope all is well with you. Yes, we have to be thinking positive. And if we continue on the negative train that we are on, it comes in all forms. We are in a country, we live in a country, and everyone wants production so that we can do better. But production comes with positivity. That's why they are P and P. Positivity creates production. Because if you are in a job and you tell yourself, oh, I'm just doing it so that I could get paid, you are already negative in the form of how well you will do the job. But if you're positive and you know that you want to be the best there is at what you do and you're going to produce, then those two P's come together and nothing can stop you. So we have to learn for ourselves, our own being, to be the positive thinker, to be the positive person that we can spread it around so that others around us can see how positive we are, and then they may take a page from our book and do the same thing. Negativity does not make you happy. It does not. Because you're always going to be by yourself. Because no one, as I said before, no one wants to be around someone that is always negative. They see you and, oh, you think you're nice. Oh, you think you're this. Oh, you think you're that. That's your thinking positive, not mine. But by you saying that around me and to me, you might just drive me to think like you are, and I don't want to. So in that case, I'll just not listen to you and mosey along and do what I do best. Be positive. Be that positive person. And hopefully I could spread a little joy to someone else. It says, exercise your ability to respond positively. Take responsibility for your role in negative situations and allow yourself to let go of negative feelings that might be trapped inside of you. Also, take advantage of the Pareto rule, which is 80-20. And focus most of your efforts on the tasks that get the most results. I'll read that again. Exercise your ability to respond positively. Take responsibility for your role in negative situations, column coming, and allow yourself to let go of negative feelings that might be trapped inside of you. Too many of us go through life with that inside of us, that negative feeling. Also, take advantage of the Pareto rule, which is the Pareto principle, and focus most on your efforts on the task that gets the most results. So, we have the 60-40. Now, the Pareto rule is the 80-20. Make your positivity 80%, the negative 20. So, the positive is always going to outweigh the negative. Good morning.
Yes, Miss Claire.
Yes, sir.
Claire, I want to know how that positiveness could come up of me. That negativeness, when it surrounds you all over. And listen to the reason why I'm saying that. If I have a slippers that is my own, you wouldn't see me taking anybody else in the house slippers and weight. I wouldn't take anybody else's clothes. All my boys and myself could wear the same clothes. You wouldn't see me take my boys' clothes and wear it. I have a cutlass that I normally use. That cutlass stays behind my bed in my room. So if I go in the garden, when I come back, I clean that cutlass and put it behind the bed. Others will take the cutlass and you have to ask for it and you don't know where it is, and sometimes it's not inside and it's not there. Others will take my shoes, wear it. Others will take other parts of my clothes and wear it. If I speak about it, my wife gets vexed. She herself will take the cutlass and use it. She herself will take out things from where and put. Sometimes she fold my clothes for their own. Now, when you get those kind of negativeness around you, tell me how you could get positive. When you conscious, you know the thing doesn't belong to that person. And I'm not making a boast over it. I do not pick up people's clothes in the house and wait. I do not take up people's shoes and wait. But you will always find, you want your slippers, you want that thing, you're looking for that, it's not there. You're looking for this, it's not there. You wouldn't find me taking other people's things and use them like that, so, and can't find it. I'm one, if I leave my room when I come back, I could tell you what somebody interfere with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because how I leave it, once I come back and I meet it, I know somebody interfere with it. So I wonder how I could take out the negativeness when you have those things surrounding you, when you have to deal with them.
Okay. Like it says, sometimes being positive is not an easy thing to overcome or to focus on or to bring it forth in your life. Because, as I said, there are a lot of people that are negative around us. But you, Clifford, has to find it in yourself and look at it that way. Yes, it's my stuff. And yes, they take it. And no one likes people to take their stuff and wear their stuff. But guess what? As I said earlier, you are the one that is feeling the heat. You are the one that are feeling the pressure, yes? So maybe look at it as, hey, it is just material things. They take my clothes, they wear it. Maybe they like it more than me. That's a positive thing because they like your clothes more than you love the clothes. They like it together with you. And maybe you might not look at it as something good. But you think to yourself that, I wouldn't let this phase me out in the sense that they always wear my thing and I don't wear anybody's thing, I don't touch anybody's thing. You are the one that is suffering. So sometimes you just let it go and you move along. Because I think, let me tell you what people do. If you keep talking about it, they will keep doing it. It is not theirs, but just to rile you up. They say, okay, let him continue. He'll talk, let him talk. Sometimes you just leave it alone, just forget it, and things will just walk its way back to you. Maybe what I'm saying is not what you want to hear, but I'm telling you, this might be able to work for you. Because if you're talking about it, I leave my thing here and you're touching it, and this kind of thing like that, just to make you feel, well, I could do it, and you cannot do anything about it, they will continue to do it. So sometimes it's a shirt, it's a pants, it's a shoe. You can get more. And maybe by you just saying that, somebody might look on you and say, you know what, Clifford? I know what you're going through. Here is that. As Coffee says, sometimes the negative propels itself into positive. Don't worry about it. Things finish. They wouldn't be taking your thing all the time. Just think positive and don't hold it and just let it go. That is what I'm going to tell you to deal with it. Because there's nothing you can say to anybody that is negative for them to change just instantly like that. It is a process of reprogramming your negatives into your positive. And if you are positive at the moment, continue to stay positive. Do not go into the negative. Because once you get there, as my friend Nicholas says, it is hard to come out of it again. So don't put yourself in that situation. Good morning, Kathleen Ledlow. Thank you so much. We'll try to continue bringing programs that everybody can learn something from. It says, there are thoughts that you can follow and motivational quotes that you can use to bring yourself from negative to positive. The most important one of them all, it says to accept complete responsibility for every part of your life and refuse to blame others or make excuses. Because there's some of us that we do stuff in our lives, but we always want to blame somebody else because we do not want to take the responsibility for what we do. Own it. You did it. Own it up. And only that way you will be able to make the change from negative to positive. Don't blame others. Take your blame. Blame yourself if you do something. Say, you know what? It's all on me. I did it. I am sorry. It won't happen again. And you reprogram yourself so that you know you won't make it happen again. But if we keep blaming others for things that we do or things that happen to us, we'll always stick into that negative form. We won't even look. We won't even see that positivity is staring us right in our faces. As it says, some of us has bronze and we look for silver. We have silver, we look for gold. We get gold, we look for platinum. And sometimes after the platinum, we look for diamond. And sometimes we have it staring right in our faces. And we don't see it. We keep looking for more. Sometimes positive thinking is right there. But we cannot see it and we cannot bring it forth because the negative one is right in the back of us, slapping us in our head and scatter the positivity. Don't let that happen. Always think positive. Part of turning negative situation into positive ones has to do with your level of self-confidence. That is the word that we are going to be talking about afterwards. Self-confidence. Because sometimes we don't have the confidence that we can do things to make ourselves better. We're not confident that what we do is going to be good, or somebody else is going to like it or benefit from it. Always remember, you don't do things so that people can like it. It may be positive for them from what they see you do, but always do it so that you can be a better person. You can be a positive person. You can have the confidence that whatever you do in your life is going to be better for you, and in the long run, it strings out to others out there who can benefit from it. As it says again, part of turning negative situations into positive ones has to do with your level of self-confidence. It is 2 minutes to 9 o'clock here, or it's 9 o'clock on the other computer. We have news, and after the news, we shall be right back.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M and
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest update of news as produced by Triple N. The details when we get back.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Hello and welcome back. Locally, the principal, staff and students of the St. Mark's Secondary are quite grateful for yet another donation from the St. Mark's Secondary School Alumni New York chapter. The alumni gifted the school with $2,000 to offset the cost of races for the annual sports meet. The Alumni New York chapter continues to actively aid in the schools and students' holistic development around the globe. Alexei Navalny's mother has been refused access to his body for a third day. His representative said she was not allowed to enter the mortuary near the remote Attic prison where he died last week. The Navalny family representative said Alexei's mother and his lawyers arrived at the morgue on Monday, but they were not allowed to go inside. One of the lawyers, they say, was pushed out.
Mother of the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has been refused access to his body for a third day. His representatives say she was not allowed to enter the mortuary near the remote Arctic prison where he suddenly died last week. The Navalny family representative said Alexei's mother and her lawyers arrived at the morgue early this morning, but they were not allowed to go inside. One of the lawyers, they say, was pushed out. When the staff were asked if the body was there, they didn't give an answer.
In the region, asserting that the deteriorating situation in Haiti has not attracted the speed and urgency it requires, Dominican Republic President Luis Rodolfo Abinader Corona has warned that the country is on the edge of a civil war. The Dominican Republic and Haiti are neighbors, sharing the Caribbean island of Hispaniola. The Dominican Republic's president expressed his concern about the Haiti crisis at the United Nations. And in sports, the West Indies' newly minted star bowler Guyanese Shamar Joseph and children in the East Burbis community of Baracara are set to benefit significantly from the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company Limited, now that he has signed on to be the telecommunication provider's brand ambassador, company officials said on Friday. GTT's Chief Commercial Officer, Cashel Charles, said through the 3-year agreement, Joseph will receive business mentorship and the children of Baracara, a community on the Kanye River, would be supported in their sports and educational pursuits. She said GTT will assist in supplying cricket gears to the students. This ends the latest update of news as produced by Triple N. Thank you for listening.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissons.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissons.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissons. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
Tourism is me. Tourism is you. Tourism is everybody. And tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitate cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
And I am back, and you heard the news with all the lovely people out there that tell you what's going on around the globe and everywhere. So we're going to head back into the negatives and the positive. And we can even use the news as negative, because when you listen to the news these days, all you're hearing is somebody died there, somebody bombed this place, somebody. It's all negative. And that's what I say, the news is always negative. But then we can take that little negative news also and says, if I were in a situation like this, who can I help out of the situation that they are in maybe by making a phone call or writing a letter or something, you can turn that negative thing into a positive for one person in a situation. So all negatives has its positives also. Let me fix this because I'm thinking I'm going off. Yeah, all negatives has its little positives. So we don't always have to remain that way. And before I went off on break, it says part of turning negative situation into positive ones has to do with your level of self-confidence. It said being optimistic can help motivate us and create a positive outlook on the life and work when we need it most. They do so by harnessing the power of positive thinking. Reframing our brains to think positively is a key step in leading a happy and successful life. You may make a choice when you decide how you will react to any given situation. If you're choosing sometimes subconsciously to complain and think negatively, your natural reaction will be to dwell on the negatives of every situation. And let me read that again. You make a choice when you decide how you will react to any given situation. If you are choosing, sometimes subconsciously, to complain and think negatively, your natural reaction will be to dwell on the negatives of every situation. When you actively choose to think positively, regardless of how absolutely ridiculous it may seem, you will turn the situation into a positive or develop plan for growth, helping you to become a better problem solver and leader. Over time, and after reframing your mind to think positively about problems, you will stay motivated, inspired, and empowered to take on any challenges that may come your way. So this is where your confidence comes in. If you tell yourself that you can do this, you will do it. You would not shy away from it and say, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Think positive, because positivity motivates you to do things differently, to make your life better, your job better. You say you become a better problem solver and a leader. Most people that are negative, they follow because they don't have the confidence to tell themselves that I can do this and I can do that and I can lead and I can be good at this. No, because they lack that confidence, that self-confidence, they'll always be following someone else, when they can be that leader themselves. It says it can help you to be self-motivated, to be inspired, to be empowered, and you can take on any challenge and anything at all that comes your way. You will be able to deal with it if you are self-confident. And that's why you have to remove yourself from the negative situation and start thinking positive. Motivate yourself to be a better person, to be a livelier person. You're not sitting down there like, EO with Tony the Tiger and you just then, oh, my life is so miserable. I cannot do this. No! Get out of that. Think positive and tell yourself you can climb that tree, you can climb that mountain, you can fly that airplane if you want to. You can do anything that you want to. As Willis says, the Wright brothers did not give up when they were trying to build an airplane. It started off with board and thing. It looks really like something to just fly, like pull that string and it's gone. And look at what we have today. We have planes, trains, and automobiles all over the place to move about. We have cars, we have all this. If all these people were to say to themselves that I cannot do this, where were we going to be today? So we have to be thinking positive and be confident in whatever it is that we are doing. If we are confident and we sometimes we ooze with too much of it, that we become narcissistic and we tell ourselves that nothing can touch us. This is not what the one we are talking about. We are talking about the one that makes you think positive, make you do things that you want to do and you're afraid to do it. And if you have some sort of fright in you about wanting to do something, it can come off as negativity also. it can. Because you do not have the gumption, you don't have the gusto, you don't have the oomph, the mojo to take you to thinking positive. Good morning, Hamlin Bernard, out there in the city of New York. Good to have you on. Keith, good morning to you also. It says the power of motivational quotes. And you will hear a lot of quotes from people because they too went through negative thinking, negative feelings, thinking that they cannot do this. And they change their life around by certain things that they see, and they can quote things. So a lot of us can learn from it. It says the power of motivational quotes. Motivational quotes can help us to be positive. That's you and me, us. While reading through the list, I recommend writing down some of the best inspirational and motivational quotes that resonate with you or me and your current situation. And every one of us has situations. Every one of us have a situation that we are dealing with right now as I speak, and that's no lie. I have a situation, you have one, he have one, she has one. We all have situations that we are dealing with right now. So it says you can use motivational quotes to help you to go through that. It says, after writing them down, find the most motivational thought or the most inspiring passage, read it loud, and then really try to understand the meaning. So if I have a quote that says, nobody but me, that's my quote, right? I'll go and stand up in front of my mirror and I'm like, Claire, there's nobody but you. I have to say it and believe it because I am the one that's saying it and it's about me. So I have to have that confidence that what I'm saying I have to believe. And you can do the same. It says, read it out loud. And look, the ironic thing is, we are at a radio station. And we had a session a couple days ago. And one of the things that we were told, read out loud. Hear our voice. We'll know what it sounds like, what we have to work on, and what we have to do and what we do not have to do. So reading out loud will help you to hear what you're saying to yourself and to know if you believe it. So read it out loud. Read out the quotes loud. It says you may find these inspirational quotes may come in handy when you're having a hard day and need a little extra encouragement and a motivational line. So read these, write down some, and refer to them often. The power of positive thinking is remarkable. When you think of something that brings you joy, your brain releases endorphins. Those endorphins fill you with the feeling of well-being. It's like when you go and exercise and you're happy and you think, when you exercise, it releases that happy endorphins. And that it keeps you wired. Like you go home, you shower, you do whatever, and you're still going, like your body is still exercising because it releases that happy endorphins that keeps you going. It's the same as when you have to be thinking positive. When you get a powerful quote that kind of change your life and make you feel different, then you know that you're on the right track. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I know I'm on the line long, so
listen now, the line is yours. You see, good morning to you, Jester. How are you?
You must call my name. You just must call my name.
Everybody know that big old voice of yours. When you just call my name, I tell, look, say what you have to say and go.
Craig, a very good topic. Very, very good topic. And taking negatives and turning to positive, as a matter of fact, has kept a lot of people, afloat,
Mm-hmm.
They want to prove people wrong when they, in such a way, when you tell somebody they can't do something, or it's more of a determination that comes out in them more, destined to succeed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm telling him, and he's like really putting somebody to the test. And it's happening in so many different aspects of life, So it's a wonderful topic again being executed on the Mental Health Show. Some people this morning might have gotten the impression that something has happened to me personally. I just want to clear the air. That is not really the case. It's just that we had a loss in the family. My stepson has gone to the great beyond. That is what happened, So I had to be on my way to the hospital this morning. So it's not just another per se. All right?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm not at liberty to say what it is. I just said something happened
yeah,
in
well,
Jester's thing.
at least I just cleared the air now.
Yes, yes. So everybody knows now that you lost your stepson, and it's a sad thing. But like I say, hang in there.
Yes. All right. So catch up with you next time around on this great show, man.
Go about your business.
Mental Health Tuesday.
And yeah, mentally you're not there, so go.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
Bye.
And to morning to all the listeners and viewers of Real 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Yeah.
Why don't you come to work? Come to work. Bye.
Later.
All right, yes. So there you have it, folks. I didn't want to say what it is, so he now told you he lost his stepson this morning, and he's on the way to the hospital and so. But when he was talking to me this morning, I heard the mom is like bawling over, and that just kind of hit me. For 6, when you lose someone, it is not an easy thing, and each and every one of us that goes through someone that we lose in our life, you would know what the impact can be on someone. So yes, so we all have to be thinking positive. As Caitlin Holly Douglas says, just be strong. And Homelin Bernard says, her sympathy to you. So yeah, so this way, you see now, when things like that happen too, when you lose someone, it is the hardest thing for you to be thinking a positive. And even though people comes and, they tell you what you want to hear, the thing that you want to hear, it is the hardest thing to dig yourself out of it. But we're talking about being positive, taking in negatives and turn it into the positive. So it could be that if you're sick with something, and I'm putting it out there, if you're sick with something, and because a lot of us are going through a lot of deadly diseases these days, and we hold it inside, but not saying anything to anybody. Always remember, there are some sicknesses that you may have caused on yourself because of the things that you do in your life. But the majority of sicknesses that comes our way, we have no control over it. And you should not be ashamed of it. Because a lot of people that suffer from cancer, they would not tell anybody that they're suffering cancer because they're ashamed to say that they have the disease. You did not bring it on yourself. You did not bring it on yourself. So don't suffer in silence thinking that if I don't say anything, it's going to go away. No, it only gets worse. There are a lot of things that you can talk about with people that are suffering with cancer that may be able to tell you, try this or try that. We're not saying that it's going to be the cure for you, but sometimes just the release of your mental health. That you get somebody to talk to, it can work wonders for you. As I say a lot of times, your mind can heal you. Because what you think, if you're thinking negative about what you have, it can kill you faster than anything else. I remember the words of Arthur Houston that says, he's a cancer survivor, and he says, when you think about the disease of cancer, and you hold it inside and not talk about it, it kills you. The disease kills you. The mental thing that you go through kills you faster than the disease that you have. And I firmly believe that. So don't ever make yourself feel that, oh, I have this and I have that, and I'm not going to tell anybody. Tell somebody. Speak to someone. Because you may get the help to help you live a bit longer or to feel a bit happier in the situation that you're in. Turn that negative feeling that you have, that I am alone going through this. You are not alone. I could be sitting here with something and that I don't know about it. And I'll tell you something. I always say, and I told my children that before, if lo and behold, I end up with breast cancer or so, I'm taking them out. I'm removing them. Because, hey, you all are there already. I don't have to make any more babies. I'm getting rid of it because if this is what's going to cause me to feel better in what I have, they are gone. I didn't come with them. I came into this world flat-chested like a board. They grew and they could go whenever I have to get rid of it. So don't sit there and suffer in silence and tell yourself that, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to tell somebody, I'm not going to talk about it. Talk about it. Because you can learn a whole lot by just talking and listening. The country that I come from, and a lot of all you will know in North America, when you walk in an office building or wherever you work, and you have Caucasians, and you say, you know what? I have this issue that I need to deal with and I don't know where to go. The amount of information you get from them, they know a lot of it. They know a lot of things. The amount of information you get and tell you where you can go to get it, you would be amazed. You go there and you come back and you have to say thank you. Sometimes you don't even have to speak. They're speaking about it to someone else and you listen and you get a lot of information. So don't be afraid if you're going through something. And I know it's not everybody's business to say that you're suffering with this, but at least speak to someone. Tell somebody. You may be able to save your life. And those of us out there who are going through something and we don't know how to deal with it, you might be able to tell us how to deal with it. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Clay.
Good morning, Miss. I'm okay, thank you. How are you doing, Miss Matheson?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm not doing too bad at all.
Good.
As I say, have a positive mind.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, having a positive mind, you could achieve much. It could catapult you, and you can be more than a conqueror. You can conquer much because you are positive. I remember I was much younger then. I came from work, and I was driving to go home, and I just was about to hit the roundabout. I'm going wrong the roundabout, I hit it, I go wrong the roundabout, put the car in second gear, and I'm going wrong. There goes someone just hit me in the middle of the car. And the windscreen just shattered. The windscreen shattered like a champagne bottle. Took my bottle of champagne, poof. And then, anyway, the police came. When the police came, obviously, he gave me the wrong. I wasn't in the wrong. He gave me the wrong. And he said, because I wasn't driving with due care and attention, especially when approaching the roundabout. And I saw what happened. The vehicle was driving so fast. I was waiting in a queue to get in the roundabout because it was a traffic jam. And the vehicle, he was driving so fast, and he didn't stop. But by the time he approached me to stop, he just hit me. But, of course, he was white and I'm black. So anyway, he said he's going to take me to court, blah, 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 the police. And Claire, I was worried because when you're driving and you come across a policeman, and they give you the wrong, you're in deep trouble. Anyway, the guy insurance wrote to me. When he wrote to me, and as far as they're concerned, I was in the wrong. I'm going to pay dearly. They say it's a company car, blah, blah, blah. And I was scared. But one thing I knew in my head, I was in the right. And all the letters coming backward and forward, going back and forth, they're giving me the wrong. And just for me to say, yes, accept liability, I will not. And I'm telling my husband, my husband say, how are we going to get around that? I say, just say what you know. Be positive, and let us go on. And me and my God will have a talk. So every day, 3 times a day, I pray to my God positively. Tell him that, Father, you see everything, and you know I was in the right. Please help me. Show me a way out. Because I'm stuck. Because if not, they're going to charge me so much money, and I haven't got that money to pay my children growing up. I haven't got that money to give them. Anyway, they carry on. Then my solicitor called me, and he said to me, and he always write me and say, be positive. You never know. Miracle does take place. And I just continuously praying. And Claire, and as I said, he called me, and when he called me, he said he wants me to come and see him to see how well I will behave in court, how I could perform in court, because it will go to court. But I was scared. I'm not telling no lie, I was frightened. So anyway, I was going to see the solicitor. I went to see the solicitor. When I went there, he says to me, Mrs. Matheson, did anybody report the accident? I say, no. Anybody was the other witness? I say, no. And when he looked through the file, he said, Mrs. Matheson, you have a witness. I said, what? He said, do you know this so-and-so person? I tell him, no, I never heard of him. Did anybody approach you? I say, no. He said, well, look, this person, Mr. Pryor, he saw the accident and you in the right. He said, we're going for them now. I hear me, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I was so happy. Claire, and when he looked at it, he said, the guy is in the wrong. He's in the wrong, and obviously he's in the right. But what the witness did, he did not approach me. He went straight to the police station and he reported it. There is an accident down the road, and this lady gave them my registration, my car registration number, and he said that this car was on the roundabout, and this one, they failed to stop when it was approaching the roundabout. So I was in the right. But the police, so he asked me, did the police write you a letter and tell you about the accident? I said, no, they haven't written me. I have received no letter from the police. He said, that's the reason why they couldn't write to you, because, and they didn't take you to court as he had promised to, because you have a witness, an unseen witness. And I tell you, God was on my side. In the end, cut a long story short, they had us to compensate me. The first offer they made me, the solicitor tell me it's up to me if I want to take it. I said, no, that cannot pay for the repair from the damages for my car. So I didn't accept it. And he put in another offer, and they had to take it. And the worst thing about the police, because the guy was white, he said, here is his insurance number, here is his number. He worked at the Swiss bank. I said, I'm a manager in a place. So what does that say? Right? He gave me his number. But to be truthful, Claire, I was shaking. I was frightened. Yeah. But keep a positive mind. You're right, you go out for the kill. You go out for the jugular vein.
Is that right?
Be strong, right?
Thank you.
Don't back down, because they wanted to back down so they could get it better of you. But positive thinking, and you'll gain great experience from what you've done. So I thank God for everything what happened at the time, and I rest assured and persevere. I rest assured, and I thank my God too.
Thank you.
Okay, have a nice day.
You
God
too. Okay,
bye-bye. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so the power of positive thinking. It says, after you write down those quotes and you read some of them, you refer to them often, it says, the power of positive thinking is remarkable. When you think of something that brings you joy, your brain releases the endorphins. Those endorphins will fill you with a feeling of well-being. And so I repeat that again so you could hear it. It says, positive thinking helps you to frame your mindset, your mental health, and change your life. It's all mentally. Because we cannot think about doing anything if we do not have the right frame of mind or the wrong frame of mind. Some of us have wrong frame of mind, and that's why we think negative. But if you have the right frame of mind, you will be thinking positive. And people might say to you, well, what's there to be positive about? You're always looking as though you're happy and this kind of thing like that. Because, yes, if you don't put yourself in a positive frame of mind, you can be back in the doldrums like everybody else. And who wants to be around me if I am a negative person? Everybody give me a wide berth. Don't go around Claire at all. She's moody. She's always negative, always saying something that makes you feel uncomfortable or something. No, I don't want that. The people that are positive, they attract the positive to you also. If you are positive, then you might attract me to you because you're a positive thinker. As it says, you will feel the vibe. You will know who is on the good side as who is on the bad side. It says, but when you feel down, that is the negative of it now. When you feel down, it is often difficult to conjure up things that makes us happy. That is why having some positive inspirational quotes or a motivated line on hand can be helpful in situations like that. As we all know, when you're in the doldrums, you have to pull yourself up. You have to really like you're on a rope and you're pulling yourself up to get to the top. It is not an easy thing. But once you get there, make sure you stay there at the top, because you do not want to go back down there where your life is feeling like, oh, I can't make it. I cannot even get up off my bed. I cannot even eat. I don't feel like doing this, and the negativity. No. Get positive. Think positive. It says inspirational quotes for your personal life. And here is that, and it's true. People tell you the world looks a certain way. Parents tell you how to think. School tell you how to think. TV, religion, and then at a certain point, if you get yourself, you realize that you can make up your own mind. Nobody sets the rules but you. You can design your own life. That's a quote. You can design your own life. After everybody tells you, you can do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, and you're bombarded by everybody telling you, one tell you this, one tell you that. Then you come to the realization, but wait a minute here. I can figure out that things on my own. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to think for myself. I'm going to make up my own mind and my own rules as how I should live to make me happy. Here's another one. Some women choose to follow men, vice versa. And some choose to follow their dreams. If you're wondering which way to go, remember that your career will never wake up and tell you that it doesn't love you anymore. I really like this one. Your career wouldn't wake up and tell you, I don't love you anymore. Because it's not anything. Your career is just, that's it. But you are the one that has to make the decision to tell yourself what you want to do or what you want to be. Here's another. Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans. Isn't that true? While we sit there and we're planning this and we're taking years to plan that we want to fly to the moon, life is happening right behind us. And by the time we catch ourselves, we're walking with cane. Because we keep making plans of us, what we want to do and what we want to, and we're not getting up and do it. We are the procrastinators. We tell ourselves we should do I'll do it tomorrow. I have to do that, I'll do it tomorrow. That's the tomorrow people and not the today people. You got to make your life about today because tomorrow never comes. Today, today, today. Itself, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Sometimes you find yourself, but what did you find yourself doing? Is it positive? Is it negative? But if you create, as I always tell people, I wasn't born, I was created. And with the creation that came my way, I do a lot of things with it because if I was created, I'll create things too. So it's not about finding yourself, it is about creating yourself. You can create yourself from the positive from the negative to the positive. You don't want to be always negative. You want to be positive so that you can attract the people that are negative. You can attract them and turn them into the positive thinkers. It says, you are the total sum of everything you've ever been, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, try to make sure that your experiences are positive. I'll read that again. You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, we should try to make sure that our experience, your experience, my experience, our experiences are positive. We go through life on a daily basis, and sometimes we just wake up. And we go through the day, and we're in la la land. We don't even know if we're coming or we're going, if we're going up or we're going down. This is not the way to live it. As she says, we heard things, we eat things, we smell things, we've been told things, we forget about things. It's all there in our atmosphere. But she says, make sure that what you experience, it's positive. And this is what we're talking about this morning, positivity, how to turn the negative into positive. Here's another one. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And the doubt is a negative. It says it kills everything than if you try something and you fail. Because you can fail at one thing and be successful at another. And it says you say you fail, but you try and try and try again until you succeed at last. But if you doubt that you can reach anywhere in your life, it kills that. It kills that. People think that they fail, oh, I'm a big failure. You know, I didn't do anything in my life. I didn't do anything for my children. I am a big failure. But you can still, if there's room, you can still use that little room, that smidget of hope that you have. You can still use that to change. But if you doubt yourself, it won't happen. It says, keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. I spoke about the sunshine this morning, the rise of that big, big globe of fire that is making its way from the horizon and coming up slowly. It says, keep your face towards that. Keep your face facing that, and the shadows will fall behind you. So what it's saying, if you keep your face towards the sun, you will never see the shadow because it's always going to be behind you. And maybe that's why it has to stay behind you. So, try, if you don't do anything else, in all the motivational quotes that I just read, keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. This is still coming under confidence. And here's the question. Is your confidence too high, too low, or just right? You tell me what your confidence level is. I think the phone working, you know. I ain't hear you all calling. I need to hear what you all thinking about the negative, the positive, and the confidence. Call 442-0175. So is your confidence too high, too low, or just right? It is positive that you have, is it possible that you have too much confidence? For many people, the answer to that question is probably not. I would say maybe I don't have too much confidence and maybe I do have. But a lot of people will say no, they don't. People often tend to deal with the opposite problem, having too little confidence. So if you have a solid sense of self and the assuredness to go after what you want in life, that's great. That is confidence. I have a call. Let me see if I can take it. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How
Good
are you?
morning, Claire. How are you doing?
I am good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
So I just wanted to share, there is this saying that it says that you have to make lemonade out of lemons, meaning that lemons are bitter, lemonade is sweet. So this encourages us to be optimistic, and to have a positive can-do attitude in the face of adversity or misfortune. So we have to take responsibility for what happened to us in life and face reality and say, this is where I am, what can I do in this situation? And I know this has happened to me personally. I made a decision which, looking back, I should not have made, that has far-reaching consequences. But I never blamed anyone. I just said, I did this to myself. So now what can I do in this situation? And it's just to say to myself, I want to be happy and I want to find happiness and to make the best out of the situation. And that has helped me presently, and I think it will help me even going forward. So I just wanted to share that no matter what situation we find ourselves, we can look at the positive side and make it better.
Quite true. Thank you so very much, as always.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if you all got what she's saying or what she said, it's you. Sometimes we are in a situation, and you have to make a choice. You have to make choices in certain situations. And as it says, sometimes people tell you, do this, do that, do this, and you have to make that decision yourself. You make certain decisions in your life to make it better, to make you happier. It may not be the popular thing that people want to see, but your mental health, my mental health, all of us mental health depends on the decisions that we make in our lives. And if the one that she makes us better for it today and in the future, so be it, because it affects us mentally. And if you are crazy mentally, you cannot do anything. So our mental health plays a big part in some of the decisions that we have to make in our life. Thank you, my friend, for bringing that out, because I know there are a lot of people that are thinking they're in situations where I have to stay and take this. I cannot get out of it because. But sometimes you're not doing it because you want to do it for malice or for spitefulness or anything. You have to do it for your own peace of mind and your mental health. Kudos to you. Olovaci, buongiorno. Thank you very much. I'm trying. It says, if your sense of self extends to caring about and being concerned with the lives of others, then your confidence levels are probably just about right. Hear that? If your sense of self, that's myself, yourself, extends to caring about the being concerned about the lives of others, then your confidence levels are probably just right. If you're focused purely on yourself, leaving little room for other people, then there might be a problem. There is nothing wrong with being confident, right? But you have to not only concentrate on yourself alone. Have the confidence knowing that you can help somebody else to be in a better position. And it says tips for building realistic confidence. 1, so what can people do to ensure their self-confidence is realistic, authentic, and socially appropriate? Here 1, focus on the effort, not the outcome. Focus on the effort, not the outcome. Whether you are evaluating your own success or offering praise to your children, try to place a greater emphasis on the work that went into the task rather than focusing on how things turned out. You cannot always control how things go, but you can control the amount of work you put into achieving your goals. Quite true. The other one, keep learning new things. Even if you're highly confident about your skills in an area, keep looking for new challenges. It is easy to become overconfident if we think we know everything there is to know about a subject. Finding new challenges to overcome not only sharpens your skill, it also reminds you that there are fresh ways of thinking about things. Confidence. You have to be confident to move forward in your life in a positive way. If you tell yourself that you can't do something, then you won't do it. And you would not be able to help anybody at all to move from the stagnant spot that they are in. In this life, it is all about helping each other to be a better person or to be better people. It's all about that. It is not about us selfishly honing what we have and not sharing it. Think about it. If you go for a job interview, yes, you may have the basic of what it takes to get a job done or to start doing a job. But any company that you go into, they have their own rules and they have their own way, their own programs about things. You have to learn their rules, their program. You have to start from afresh, right? Now, you cannot go there and say, you know what? I don't care what they're telling me. I know what I'm doing. And I could do this without their help. You already failed. Because their system is different to what you know when you came in there. And all of us, each and every one of us in this world that we live in, somebody taught us something along the way. You did not come into the job that you have now with 100% knowing what you're doing. You had to learn. Somebody taught you. So when you get into a situation or position in a company or in life where you can help someone to hone what it is that it, do not hold it tight like how they guard the gold in Fort Knox. It is not security. I'm not saying to go ahead and tell everybody what you know, because as they say, if you tell everybody what you know, what you learn, you'll become what? Redundant. Because there's somebody else knows. But teach somebody else what you know so that you can pay it forward. Because if you die with all the knowledge that you have, what good it is to you and the world that you are living in or the world that you are living in. Share. Help someone to move forward. That way, everybody is going to be happier and everybody's going to enjoy what they're doing. It is the saddest thing when you know something and you do not share it and you expect me to be on the same level playing field with you. And I don't get there and you ridicule me. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're this or you that. Clifford, here's where he comes back. If I am thinking negative and I'm in a job and you do not teach me what I need to know and you're ridiculing me because I don't know, you are almost as responsible as I am for the way things are turning out, because you partake in me not knowing what I have to do to get my job done right. Clifford, this is where it comes back when you're talking about the negative and how could you be a positive person and all the negativity going around you and how you expect to be positive. This is one way. Because if you know what you know that I have to know and you're not telling me, you're not helping me to know, then you're just as guilty as I am. And you might even be worse because you know. And you know that if you teach me, I would be just as good or better in what I am doing. But if you hold it and you're not telling me, you're not teaching me, you're not telling me what I have to do to get where I'm going, then you are not a player in society. You are selfish, you are self-centered, you're narcissistic, and you're just there. It's all about you. And it cannot be all about you to make this world go forward. We all have a part to play in it. Some of us don't play fair. Some of us don't play at all. But if you think about it, at the end of the day and at the end of their lives, you will hear, oh, that person was such a good person. When I was doing this, they helped me along the way. They taught me everything that I know. You know, I give my all to that person, my respect and everything. Then you hear, who, that man? That man didn't help nobody do anything. I ain't sorry he did at all. He deserves it. Which one would you like to be? The one that nobody wants to hear, but when you're dead, they just, oh, he dead, they're happy he dead. Or the one that passed and, you know, he was such a good person. She was such a good person. You know, everything that I know in life, I learned from her. She was such a positive person. She put a positive spin on everything that she does and make people around her be better or make people around him be better. Isn't that the one that you want to be? Oh, that's so sad about you? You know, sometimes people fake their death to see how people are going to react. And when they hear how people react, they stay dead. They disappear forever. Then come back out. Those that fake their death and they hear the nice things people say about them, sooner or later you hear the police find them. Or they fake their death and the police find them. Because they get good reviews of how people feel about them. Because they did a good in the life that they have. I have a son out there. He's tall and he's lanky as ever. Love him to death. Because I'm an idiot when it comes to the techie thing. And if I reach and I hit something and I say, can you please come? He might be doing whatever he wants out there, deep in his thing. And he'll come and he'll say, yes. And I said, can you do that for me? I know I'm good. He comes and he does it nicely. And let me tell you, I am better for it. You know why? Because some of the things that I see him do, I look at him and I'll be able to do it the next time because he's teaching me. Although he's coming and he's doing it, and I'll ask, well, what happened there? And he says, well, this is what happens and you know you have to do this and you have to do that. Him, I can be around all the time because guess what? He's teaching me certain things that I could do on my own if he's not there. When I come in here some mornings and I put up the camera, I do YouTube, and nothing working. I pick up my phone, I says, hey, I need help. I said, sorry to call you so early, but this is not working. He stays at home, and he fixes it for me. And then you're able to hear what I'm saying, and you're able to see me being an idiot on the YouTube a lot of the time, laughing out loud and so, because he does that. Now, if he passes, and I'm hoping that he doesn't pass anytime soon, but if he passes, I'm the first one to jump up and say what a good person he was. And the rest of the staff can say that too. Because he is a really, really nice person. And you don't see him get angry, and we're not hoping to see him get angry because we know if he get angry, you know, what he's all about. But he's patient with you. He tells you what you have to say. Do this, and you have to do this. And if you do it that way, he's going to walk that way. And these are the people that I want around me. And these are most of the people that I have around me are like that. Because they know that if they say, okay, I need you to do this for me, I'm going all out, gung-ho, throw what I have done, boom, and I gone and do it. Positive thinking people is what we want in our lives. Really and truly, if you're positive and you ooze positivity, it comes right back to you. People flock to you like honey because you're positive. No one wants anybody around that is grumpy, like grumpy old men and women, and they see you and they say good morning and they ask you, well, what good about it? You know? No. You want to be different. You want to know that if something happens to you, that somebody's going to run to your rescue because of who you are and what you stand for. Positivity, not negativity. I'm coming on to the wire. It says, listen to what others have to say. And it's not about positive or they're thinking negative about you or saying negative about you. It says, overconfidence can sometimes cause people to become rigid and even dogmatic. Instead of us assuming that your way is the right way only, let me say it again. Instead of assuming that your way is the right way or only way, try to keep an open mind. You might not always agree with other people, but it's important to listen in order to gain a new perspective. I'm reading that twice. Overconfidence can sometimes cause people to become rigid and even dogmatic. Instead of assuming that your way is the right or only way, try to keep an open mind. You might not always agree with other people, but it is important to listen in order to gain a new perspective. So we are not always right, and not always is the only way. There are things that people say to you or to me that makes sense. And not because it's not coming from you that you think it's not the right thing or the only way to deal with it. No. New perspective. Gain new perspective. I've seen in places where I work that the Joe Blow like me and you that is working in companies that see things that are going on and you say, okay, you know what? I'm doing this, but maybe if we do it that way, we'll have more success. And you take it to your boss and you say, well, hey, I think if we do it this way, it's going to. And then you think so? Nah, I don't think that is going to work. And they shoot it down, you feel dejected, and you go back. Give it 2 weeks. And the same thing you said is what they implement. But they would not give you the credit, even though it came from you. They want to make themselves feel like they are the ones that do it. But you know what, in that case? You don't get upset and you don't get angry. You rejoice inside because you know it was your idea that came along and caused the thing to happen. So even though it sounded negative when they said, nah, that ain't going to work, I don't think we're going to work that, and you see it, then here's your positive. They implemented it. So, in summary, this is what I have to say. In order to keep mentally sane, and I mean sane mentally, we need to be balanced in all aspects of our lives, remembering that we are all different and unique. None of us is the same. None. We all are different. And we go through things differently. We do things differently. But once it is a way where you can become positive and help others along the way, this is what going to make a difference in each and every one of us' lives. I know Miss Sandy wasn't in when I said good morning to her. So let me say good morning to you, Donna Sandy. I know that you're listening and you're always listening to the programs on Real FM. And to all those of you who listen every Tuesday, every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, every Thursday, because we have different topics and different subjects on Real FM, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because without you, we are not going to make it here. Because it doesn't make sense you come here and you're speaking to wind. And my hope is that whatever we talk here about on the mental health program helps someone, even though it's half a person. As my daughter would say, Mom, there's no half a person, no half a car, whatever. But if it's half a person, to make a change in their life for the better, then so be it. You already did a good for us. I close by saying, you can be confident, do not be overconfident. Be kind to people, because kind people are the best kind of people. Thank you again, and hopefully we'll have Jester back next week. Thank you very much. It is 10 o'clock, and it's news inside the studios of Real FM. Goodbye.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.